everyone, welcome back to my salon's channel. I am in the salon today, as you can see, and today I am going to be answering some questions I asked on my social media, what questions they have for hairstylists or cosmetologists in general, like what things that they have been like trying to figure out, or what questions they have for a professional. So I got a few questions and I'm gonna go over them. I'm gonna give you my opinion, so this isn't like the right opinion, this is just my opinion, what I think. And so some backstory: I have been doing hair for 5 years now, and I worked in a salon for 1 year, like with a separate salon. So I worked for someone in a salon, and there were about 5 stylists there, and then I did freelance for about 1.5 to 2 years, and now I own my own salon and I do my own thing. So I'm the only one. This is a single chair salon, and I do everything. So I do hair, I do nails, I do skin, like makeup, I do facial waxing, so I do a little bit of everything. So that's just a little bit of backstory on me and what I do here in my salon. So the first question that I got was, should you wash your hair brushes? So yes, you should be washing them at least once a month, if not more. So when you have a hairbrush, so let's see, I'll show you what I have. So this is a round brush, and even brushes like this, even your combs, and basically anything you use in your hair, you should be kind of sanitizing every once in a while. So I would say to wash your brushes like once a month, minimum once a month. So even more than that would be good. So in the salon, what I like to do is I fill up my sink with warm water, and I put in Barbicide. So Barbicide is a disinfecting solution that salons and barbershops use to disinfect and clean surfaces, like tools, literally anything. You can use it for anything, and I love Barbicide, so that's what I do. So I fill up my sink with warm water and Barbicide, and I just go off of the directions on the bottle, and then I put in my brushes. So I make sure to get all the hair, like if there's hair in them, you want to make sure you get all your hair out, and then you want to soak them for like an hour, less, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes I soak them overnight. Literally, it doesn't matter, just as long as they're in there for minimum 30 minutes, and that'll help get rid of any bacteria, any buildup, and that'll just sanitize them. So that's how I clean them. Now I do suggest using Barbicide because it is a disinfectant, and it is made specifically for salons and barbershops and like hair things, and also like nail implements. I literally use it on everything. So I think you could get Barbicide on like Amazon. I usually get mine at like beauty supply stores, and even if you go to Sally's Beauty Supply, they sell it, and they have like little bottles and then big giant bottles. So I always get the big giant bottle, but you might just want to grab a little bottle. So that is what I suggest doing to clean your brushes. So the reason you might want to be cleaning your hair brushes at home is because if you're using them every day, let's say you have product in your hair, you know, you use hairspray, you use gel or mousse or any oils or creams, anything that you're putting in your hair when you're combing your hair out, that product and that buildup is going to go on your brushes as well. So it's good to get them nice and clean, get them sanitized, so you don't have any like gross buildup, anything like that. And I also suggest doing this with combs, like rat tail combs or like regular combs, whatever combs you use, those you could see the buildup sometimes. So like fill up your sink, like in your bathroom, with some warm water, put in some disinfectant solution like Barbicide, and just let them soak for a few hours. And then what I like to do is I drain the water, and then I rinse it with water. So I just turn on the, you know, the tap with warm water, and I rinse the brushes, and then I let them sit like overnight on a towel so they could dry, and it works perfectly. And your brushes are gonna be clean and nice, and they're gonna smell good, and they're not gonna have any gross icky things. So that's that first question. So the next question that I'm gonna answer is, how bad exactly is peeling off your gel polish? So if you are familiar with nail enhancements, there's lots of different things out there now in the market, and you know, we have regular polish, gel polish, acrylic, dip powder, which is acrylic, and then there's this new one called Polygel, which is like a hybrid of gel, like hard gel and acrylic, and then there's hard gel as well. So those are all types of enhancements that you could put on your natural nails. So when you have something like gel polish, which you need to cure in a light and like an LED or UV light, what happens is that polish, that gel polish, is like adhering to your nail. It's grabbing onto your nail and it's gonna stay. That's why gel polish lasts longer than regular polish, because it's a little bit stronger and it holds onto your nail better. So if you are peeling off your gel polish, like, oh, you know, it chipped or whatever, and then you get impatient and you're just yanking and peeling off your polish, what you're doing is, since that gel is so adhered to your natural nail is like layers and layers and layers of keratin. So when you're peeling off your gel polish, you're also peeling off those layers of your natural nail. So that's why you see those like lines, or like the nail actually feels like fuzzy. The nail plate is like lifted. You could get tearing in your nail, you could get splitting, and what you're doing is you're weakening your nail plate and making it less strong every time you do that. Let's say you get a manicure every 3 weeks and you're peeling off your polish, like, you know, the 3rd week in before you get a new manicure, you're making your nails weaker and weaker and weaker every time you do that. So what's gonna happen is they're gonna be really thin, they're gonna be brittle, they're not gonna be strong, and it just is not good for your nails. It's not gonna make your nails look nice. So I always suggest, I tell everyone that if you're gonna remove your enhancements, to go and get them removed at the place you got them done, or literally any salon, any salon that does nails, they can remove the enhancement for you, and they'll do it in a way that is gentle. Now, if you go to a nail place and they are yanking or ripping or like tearing your enhancement off, that is not okay. Don't let them do that, because they are damaging your nail. And I've seen it time and time again. You go to a nail shop and you sit down and maybe you have lifting, or you're like, oh, I want a whole new set. They'll go in with like a not used, like a nail tip, like a plastic nail tip, and just wedge it in there and like tear your nail off. That is not how it's done. If they are doing that, or if they try to do that, stop them. Tell them to stop, because they are gonna damage your natural nail. And if your enhancement is really like strong and it's really attached, let's say like acrylic or dip powder, which is acrylic, and or things like hard gel, if they're ripping off with a nail tip, your whole nail could come off if it's really attached. If like the enhancement is really attached to your natural nail, your whole nail could come off. You could get bumps, you could get bruising, you could rip your nail. So don't let them do that. So what I suggest is go to a place that you know can remove your enhancement the safe way, and what usually they will do is they will file off, let's say for gel polish, they will file off that really shiny top layer, and then they'll soak the nail with 100% pure acetone, and that just melts off the polish, and then it just melts off, and that's it. And you're not ripping anything, and it just comes off easy. So that method also works for acrylic nails. Usually you can drill, like with an e-file, drill it down so it's thin, so you're not sitting there for like hours on end waiting for the stuff to melt. So if you could get it really thin, especially acrylic, if you could get the acrylic thin or the dip manicure, get that really like thin with an e-file, then you could soak it with 100% pure acetone and it'll come right off. Then you just like scrape it off and it'll just come off. So if you are gonna do this at home, if you're gonna remove your nail enhancements at home, let's say you like chipped a nail, or you know, one fell off and you just want to get rid of all of them, I suggest getting a file, like a regular hand file, and filing off the shiny layer. Like for gel polish, it has a shiny layer. If you try to put 100% acetone on that shiny layer, it's not going to do anything, because that shiny layer is protecting the polish underneath, which is usually like the clear top layer. So grab a hand file, file off that shiny layer of gel polish so that it is like a matte color, so you can see the actual color, you know, that was applied. And then once you have that shiny layer taken off, then soak a cotton ball or a cotton round or whatever you have in 100% pure acetone, so not nail polish remover, 100% pure acetone. You're gonna soak your cotton ball, put it on, grab a little foil. You could use like Reynolds wrap, like aluminum foil, and just cut up a little piece and like wrap your finger in that and let it sit for like 10-15 minutes, and then periodically check it to see if it's melted off. And usually with gel polish, it shouldn't be more than like 15-20 minutes, because it's really thin and it'll just eat through that polish really quickly. Now if you have acrylic nails, it's best to try to file it down as much as possible. So you can use just a regular nail file that is a little bit coarse, so if you feel it, it feels kind of like more gritty. So the grittier the better, because it'll kind of chew through that acrylic faster. So just try to get your acrylic enhancement as thin as possible without touching your natural nails with that really coarse like file. So once you have your acrylic thin enough, go in and with a cotton ball soaked in acetone, 100% acetone, pure acetone. Like I said, nail polish remover is not going to do it. It's not going to be enough. Put your cotton ball on, wrap it with a foil, and let it sit for like 20-25 minutes, and then you'll see your progress. And acrylic will get gummy and kind of sticky, kind of like a booger. It's kind of gross, but when it's gummy like that, just grab like a cuticle pusher or like an orange wood stick. You can even use your other nail and just like slowly like push up again, and it'll just pop off. So that's what I recommend. If you have any questions about nail enhancements, artificial nail enhancements or natural nail care, leave them in the comments below. So I will be doing more Q&A kind of videos to educate you as much as I can, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments as well. Okay, so my next question is how to avoid washing your hair every day with curly hair. She says it's impossible. One of the main things that I always try to tell my clients is you have to buy products that are good products. So buying products at like Walmart or like CVS, those products aren't the same as professional products that you could get at like Ulta or at Sally's or online, or even a salon. So some salons sell professional products in the salon. I don't sell any right now, but I always like to recommend what I think is better for your hair. So when it comes to curly hair is usually dry. Actually, I'm gonna read the other question because I had another curly question. So the other curly question is, what line of products do you recommend for dry, frizzy, curly hair? So I'm gonna kind of combine those two questions. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about curly hair, its structure and what it needs, so then you could find products that'll fit your hair. So for curly hair, usually curly hair is dry already. It's not gonna hold moisture. It's going to frizz easily. So what you wanna find is a curly line. So I like to recommend DevaCurl from Ulta. So you can get that at Ulta. I think you can get it online as well. They have a ton of products for curly hair, and just reading what they have a lot of stuff that is specific for each thing. So to try not to wash your hair every day, because even for people with straight hair, any hair texture, it's bad to wash your hair every day. So what happens when you wash your hair every single day is that you are severely stripping your hair of moisture and the oils that it does have. So with curly hair, since it's coiled, it takes longer for the oil on your scalp to get to the bottom because it has to do this whole thing, you know? So with straight hair, I've talked to people that have straight hair. They say, oh my god, my hair gets oily in like one day. Like the next day after I wash it, it's oily. Well, that happens because your hair is straight. So when your hair is straight, the oil could slide right down. And so what happens with curly hair is, since it's coiled, it takes longer for the oil to go around these coils to like moisturize and keep your hair like moisturized, basically. So oil in your hair is good. Like your natural hair oils are good. And if you're washing your hair every single day, what you're doing is you're stripping your hair. You're getting rid of all the oil, especially if you use a cheap shampoo and conditioner. So if you're using shampoos with sulfates, it's gonna strip all your oils out, and it's not gonna keep any oils in to help moisturize your hair. So every time you wash your hair with a cheap shampoo and conditioner, you're just stripping it, making it more and more and more dry. So what I suggest to do is you're gonna have a little bit of a transition period. So I know it's gonna be hard, but you have to kind of like work through it. What you have to do is not wash your hair every day. I know it's kind of annoying, it's kind of crazy. So what you have to do is maybe go online and look up like second day hairstyles, third day hairstyles. Figure out what you can do to push your wash day further and further. So I always suggest, even for straight hair, wash your hair twice a week, maximum twice a week. So I know it's hard. I know people are like, oh, my hair looks disgusting, it's dirty, it's gross. Your hair is not dirty and gross. It's just you have to get used to it. So let's say you wash your hair on Saturday. The next day, you should be able to leave it down, like style it like normal. Like if you have straight down hair or if you have your curly style, you should be able to go 2 days with the original style. So let's say for curly hair, you just have it like your curly fro. You should be able to push that. Now for curly hair, you need to have products, because if you're sleeping on your hair, it's gonna get frizzy. I suggest to invest in bonnets, and there are many kinds, and there's silk ones, and those are the best for your hair because it's not gonna pull and tug and like rip at your hair. It's like, since silk is such a smooth, soft material, it's gonna really be good for your hair. If you don't have one of those, I suggest getting a pillowcase that is silk, because again, it's just gonna be softer on your hair. It's not gonna like rough up all your cuticle. So when you have curly hair, you have your curly hair shampoo, your curly hair conditioner. When you get out, you have your curly hair detangle spray, let's say your moisture cream, your curl cream, your curl spray, whatever products you're gonna use, you have to kind of use them in the right way. When you style your hair the day that you wash it, that should last you at least 2 days. So that day and then the next day. So what I suggest is that you try different hairstyles for like the next few days. So maybe have your hair up in a half up, half down, or do some braids, or do some twists like right in the front, just to like kind of hide where you can see it gets oily or greasy or whatever. Just try to hide that as much as you can. And my last option is a ponytail, and you pull it back, you put some hairspray in, nobody's gonna know that you haven't washed your hair in 3 or 4 days. That is my biggest suggestion. Use products that are not like heavy and full of sulfates and parabens, because that's just gonna weigh your hair down. It's gonna make your hair greasier faster, and it's just not gonna look good. So doing things like that. Now I am gonna do a video on like styling curly hair and how to like take care of curly hair. My daughter actually has super curly hair, like the curliest hair you've ever seen in your life, and I have learned a lot doing her hair, because this is my hair, it's straight. So it has been really interesting learning more about it, getting more into different products, and I will be doing another curly hair video soon where I talk about how to style it for like the best curls ever. So my last question was on how to prep your natural nails for nail enhancements. So I know a lot of people like to do their own nails at home, and it cuts back on costs, and sometimes just getting your nails done at a salon is like a treat. So you like to do it at home more. So the nails it's pretty easy, it's pretty basic. It's not anything like crazy out of this world and you need like different kind of products or anything. It's pretty simple. So the way I like to prep natural nails, and I will be doing another video talking about prepping them, but I'm gonna kind of go over it really quickly here. So for natural nails, remove any polish, any clear polish, any kind of polish you have, remove that. Then I like to soak the nails. So put your fingers in like a little bowl of water, let them soak for your cuticle. So the cuticle that you want to remove is the dead skin that is on your nail plate, and maybe any dead skin that's like lifted, kind of like hangnails and stuff. You want to get rid of that stuff. So let your hand soak for like 2 to 5 minutes, and you'll see that the cuticle or the dead skin gets kind of white and like translucent. That's the stuff you want to remove. So going in after that, dry your hands. If you have cuticle remover, use some cuticle remover. If you don't, that's fine, because the water softened them up enough where you could get them off without a remover. And then I would go in with a cuticle pusher. So this is like a metal little spoon that you just use to push back your cuticle. You could also use orange wood sticks, and you can get these at Sally's, or even online. They sell them really cheap on Amazon. Just cuticle pusher or orange wood sticks. And the orange wood sticks usually has like a flat, like square edge, and then the other side is like pointy, so you could use those for that. So with the flat side, you're gonna push back on the skin around your nails and the sidewalls as well. So you want to go the whole way around, get all that dead skin off of your nail plate. If you leave any skin on your nail plate, what's gonna happen is, if you put polish or acrylic or whatever enhancement you're putting on, it's gonna want to peel off, because you're putting because you're going to be putting that product on like dead skin. So it's not going to adhere to your nail, it's not going to last, and it's just going to come off sooner than you want it to. So after you've pushed back your cuticle, cutting the dead skin away is optional. If you have a ton of skin that's like kind of like all over your nail and around your nail plate, then I do suggest going in with some nippers, some cuticle nippers, and cutting away the dead skin. So the skin that is kind of like whitish or translucent, that's what you want to remove. You never want to remove live skin. You don't want to hurt yourself. You're not going to be cutting in deep. It's just like really surface level skin that is dead, that is dry, that needs to be removed. Once you cleaned up your cuticle, then you could go in and file your nail, like just shape it up nice and neat. I always suggest like for natural nails, a square shape, and then just like file around the edges so it's not sharp. And then it depends, if you have longer nails, you could do like an almond shape or like a ballerina shape. So all those shapes are more for like longer nails. But if you have short, like natural nails, then just go with the classic square. It's easy and it looks the best on like everyone's hands. Like square shape looks the best. So once you've done that, then I suggest going in with a really fine grit. So nothing really coarse, nothing big and heavy, something really fine to just file over your nail. So just like the surface of the nail, to get rid of any surface shine. So if your nail is naturally shiny, that means it's too smooth, and anything you put on top is not gonna adhere. So if you want your regular polish or your gel polish or your acrylic or your poly gel, whatever kind of artificial enhancement that you want to put on your nail, you want to do that on where your nail plate is kind of like matte and kind of a little bit rough. So like I said, super fine grit. You don't want to do anything heavy. You don't want to like go in with a super coarse file that's gonna like tear away at your natural nail plate. Just like the surface layer, just to get rid of that shine on your natural nail, and that's gonna help anything you put on top adhere better. So once you've done that, if you're gonna move on to just regular nail polish, then that's the last step. Then you do your regular nail polish, you know, your base coat, your 2 coats of color, and then your top coat. And then if you're gonna be using an enhancement, like an artificial enhancement, like gel polish, I suggest to go in with a dehydrator. So you also get this stuff at Sally's. I get my stuff at like Cosmoprof or SalonCentric, but if you don't have a license, if you're not a cosmetologist, just go to Sally's. They have everything in the little nail corner. So for gel polish, I suggest getting a dehydrator. It's like a pH bonder. They call it different things, but it's like a prep. Sometimes it's called prep. It's called a dehydrator. pH bonder, like literally all those names just means dehydrator. So what that's gonna do is gonna make sure that your nail doesn't have any moisture on it, so that when you do your gel polish, there's nothing between your nail and the polish that's gonna make it not last. And then for, like, let's say you're doing acrylics, then you do want to use a primer, acrylic or poly gel or hard gel. You do want to do a primer. So so as far as acrylic goes, you do a prep and prime. So you do your dehydrator and then your primer. Usually they sell them at, like I said, at Sally's, and most of the time there are acid-free primers. So try to go for the acid-free primer, because the ones that do have acid, if you get it on your skin, over time it can become like you could develop a allergic reaction to it, and it could cause some itching and burning and stuff on your skin. So don't get it on your skin, just get it on your nail, and that's gonna help make sure that it's like the acrylic is really adhered, so that you don't get any lifting, or so they don't fall off. So that is the last question that I had. I hope you guys learned something today, and thank you to the ladies that sent me the questions. I really appreciate that for this video. And if you have any more questions, or if you thought of something, you want to leave it in the comments below, please do, and I will be making a follow-up video to this one if I get more questions. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I will see you next time with more hair, nail, and color videos, and a lot more to come in this new year. So I hope you guys are enjoying your day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.